Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel here at Happy Hot Home. Today I'm talking a little bit about how to create a fabulous outdoor kitchen. I want to give you tips for designing, building, and creating a really great usable space outside. I know a lot of you are taking on such projects for the outdoors and looking for tips. So I just wanted to share a few of the tips that I have and things that I thought about when we built our outdoor kitchen in our pool house. If you have not seen our pool house video, I will link it here so that you can take a look at it, and I give a lot of details about the whole pool house in that video along with the kitchen. But in this video I'm going to go into just a little bit more details about creating and tips for an outdoor kitchen. So planning to build an outdoor kitchen is a big deal, and obviously budget is very important, right? A lot of thought needs to go into the design of the final product for it to be functional and really fabulous, a place that you will love. Trust me, I know we spent hours, days, weeks planning the exact design for our outdoor kitchen. I imagined every island shape, size, dimension, every location, and thought endlessly about best possible functionality for the space. And I'm going to share some of my tips today and things that I thought about when I created our island and the design that I decided to come up with for the space and things that I thought about. Yeah, let's talk about budget for a little bit. Right, we all need to start with a budget. Ours went sideways very quickly. A lot of our wants turned into must-haves, which they really shouldn't have, but if you really do need to stick to a budget, to create a budget and stick to it, and if you have a little bit of wiggle room and want to add a few of the wants, that's great, but it can get out of hand very quickly. And some of the costs are unknown at the beginning. Your contractor may not know how much it's going to cost to run a gas line. He may not know how much it's going to cost to run a sewer line if you're on septic. He may not know a lot of these prices, so he may not price them in. It may be a cost as you go along. So you do want to get something up front, as best you can so that you can budget for it. It may, if he does want to exclude those costs, you may be able to do it cheaper on your own, because he will probably overcharge you saying, oh yeah, well I can do it for X amount, which maybe you can do it cheaper on your own. But of course he's going to give you a higher end to account for possible issues that could come up along the way. So those are a couple things to consider. Things like the grill, for example. We added gas to it. Does it need to be a gas grill? No. Running a gas line was a big deal, and it was very expensive. So, that's something that if you want to have a grill out here, you could just have, a portable gas tank that you hook up to it. That's a cost savings. Sink, it's very expensive to run running water out to the pool house here. That was a very big deal. Do you need to have running water outside? Of course, it's a nice have. Do you need it? That's up to you to decide. Cabinets. Let's talk a little bit about cabinets. Cabinets, very expensive. They run the gamut of anywhere from, oh my gosh, just crazy amounts, depending on the material you use, whether you do prefab or custom made. We did have ours custom made. We did have our cabinet and it's custom made, and that was actually a cheaper route than having prefabricated cabinets. When I got the cost for prefabricated cabinets, I was working with a company online, you know, for this space, the dining space, and a couple areas in the pool house. I mean, the price was pretty high. I don't know, it was like 30, 40,000. So, you know, that is something that you do have to, you know, do your cost comparison on when you are trying to allocate a budget for the cabinets. And those prefab cabinets don't come with installation. You have to pay for the installation, so that's another cost. You know, and they do have a lot of different types of cabinets out there, and they do customize as much as possible. They'll give you a very pretty design. You know, you'll give them your space. They'll come up with a very nice design, but it is going to cost a lot, and they're expensive to ship. And I don't know how much installation is because I didn't even go that route, but just to do a cost comparison of custom ones to prefab ones, those were a lot more expensive. So that is something to take into account when you are deciding on outdoor cabinets. Materials, you know, we all know the cost of materials have gone up substantially in just about everything. You can get stainless steel cabinets. You can get the plastic ones, which are great for the outdoors. So many different types and styles, and you really need to do a lot of cost comparison to really find the best deal. Now I want to talk a little bit about layout. I wanted so badly to have double islands in this space. I wanted to have 2 islands that ran perpendicular to this area over here. And I tried, and unless I just made them really skinny, it just didn't seem to make sense, and was going to be a really great design for the space. So I opted not to do it. But, you know, it is something that I really did want. And then when I thought about, well, I'm like, okay, well, how about if I line them up this way? I didn't want to have 3 rows of countertops, and I didn't think design-wise that was going to look great. But I tried so hard to make those double islands work, and it was just so difficult. So over here is the pathway that leads to the bathroom. So as you can see, I also didn't want to come further than the edge of the counter over there because I didn't want to impede on the pathway to the bathroom. If I had all the space, sure, I could have made 2 very large islands and that would have been fine, but I didn't want to impede on this space. So besides the 2 islands, I decided on, well, I thought about, how about a big U-shaped island? Well, okay, what are the advantages of a U-shaped island? Well, you could go inside, right? And it could, you could serve from the inside, so it kind of acts as a bar. I'm like, okay, well, I kind of liked that. I wouldn't get any more seating than what I have now, and I would actually lose countertop space. So here I have a lot of countertop space. This is about an 8x8 island, and I have a lot of countertop space to put food, if people come over or I'm hosting a cookout. A lot of great space to use for just about everything. The burgers, the buns, everything, can just put it out on the counter, and all of the serving platters, and everything works really well. So those are a couple of the things that is over there that I had in mind, and the thought process that I went through when I was trying to create this outdoor space. So as you can see, we ended up with a single large island, and I think that was by far the best choice. still allows us plenty of room, and we can put more bar stools around here. I can actually put like 3 on each side. So I could have 6, I could have 8. I only have 5 now, but I could have 8 if I wanted. So I think that just having a countertop island was the best choice, and still allows for plenty of storage. As you can see, we have two drawers there, 2 cabinets. And on this side, this is the trash receptacle and the ice maker. And then on this side, similar, 2 drawers and 2 cabinets. So we have ample storage, plenty of countertop space, and I think that this was the most usable design for our outdoor space. Just want to mention quickly these bar stools. They are a replacement. If you want to check out a prior video, I show you the stools that we had before that did not work out well outside at all, and we had to get them replaced. So you can check out that video to see what they look like. They're beautiful stools and they're great for indoors, but they did not work well at all outdoors. These are super heavy, great, holding up really, really well. Very, very pleased with them. I'm sure they're gonna survive the winter well too. The others didn't even make it to winter. But so very, very happy with these stools. Actually have 3 more of them down at that bar. But yes, very happy with them. I will link them in case you are interested. So for the appliances here, as I said, we have this 48-inch gas grill, which is sitting on top of the cabinet. It is a gas grill that we had prior to building this outdoor kitchen in the pool house. And so I put it on top of the island because I didn't know if I was going to keep it. If it doesn't work out and it fails in a year or so, I won't be left with a big 48-inch hole if I build it into the cabinet. If I build it into the cabinet, I also need a stainless steel sleeve. So those were 2 negatives, so we decided to place it on top of the countertop instead of building it into the cabinet. As for appliances, outdoor refrigerators are fabulous. You definitely want to include those in your budget. Many different types you can get. These are a little pricey, but I love them. They're not just beverage refrigerators, but I mean, they hold everything. They hold cans, bottles, wine, champagne. They have 2 different cooling mechanisms, one for the top, one for the bottom. So the top holds, again, normally I would have bottles, wine bottles and champagne, and then the bottom holds cans. So it has a lot of space in it, and it holds a lot. Keeps everything cold. But I love these refrigerators. So we have 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. That's something that I didn't really want to chintz on, and I wanted more than just a little beverage refrigerator. Also, we included an ice maker, which is huge. Never want to be running out of ice. Ice makers are, they can be difficult, a little unreliable. So far, we've had good luck with this one. We have 2 ice makers inside our house, and we've had to replace those since we've moved in. But so far so good with this one. I'm very happy with it. So yeah, it's doing well. So those are a few things that I wanted to mention about appliances. And when you're trying to budget for appliances, grill, refrigerator, ice maker, do you want to add a dishwasher outside? That's something to consider as well. Typically, probably no, but I don't know, it's something that I did think about. So those are a couple things to consider about when it comes to appliances. A little bit about the sink. As I said, it was a very big deal to add running water out here. A lot of work involved in it. And, sorry, just picking up some dirt off of the counter. A lot of work involved into it, a lot of digging, a lot of trenching, to run the line. So is it worth it? I mean, would I do it again? Probably. Since we wanted a bathroom, which is over here, we had to have running water. So definitely something, that we did factor into the budget, but that is a big expense, whether to add running water to an outdoor kitchen. So something to be thought about carefully, priced out, talk to your contractor about, and prices are going to vary greatly depending where you are, what region you're in and how much work is involved in it. Actually, our contractor determined that running the line out of the front of the house all the way down through the front yard to the back was the most efficient way to do it. Okay. I don't know. Didn't get a cost comparison to do it another way, but that was their determination that was the most efficient way to do it, and the reason was because of where the plumbing is located on the inside of the house and where they have to go break through the wall, and coming out the front of the house was easier than going all the way through the basement in the beams and then out the back of the house. That was why the decision was made there. But a lot of things to consider when it comes to adding running water. It is a big deal. I did touch on a little bit about cabinets. As I said, please do cost comparison on different types of materials, plastic versus stainless versus, another type of composite, whether you are having someone custom make them, whether you're ordering them online. I think you can even go through Home Depot. They have an outdoor cabinet company that they work with if you want to give that a route, just to get a cost comparison of prices, because there are just a wide variety of prices and a wide range of types of materials to choose from. And very importantly, not to forget outlets, electrical outlets. We have one on each side of the island, for charging phones and such. So there's one here, there's one on the other side. We have one here, which is not the most attractive thing. I actually don't particularly really like it there, but having it hidden maybe on this wall where there is an outlet maybe have been a better idea. But anyway, we do have one there, so you do want to add as many outlets as possible depending on what you are going to do for the space. If you are going to have hanging lights, we have hanging bistro lights, you want to make sure that you can get to an outlet. We also have an outlet on this back wall, so you can run lights down the side of the wall and hook in to an electric outlet that way. So electrical is very important. Think about all of the light switches, if you're going to have any light switches, where all of your outlets will be. Very important to consider, because you definitely are going to need electricity when you're out here. If you have a dead phone out here, you're not going to be happy with that. So you do want to carefully think about where you want to put electrical outlets. So I hope that helped. Just giving you a few tips and tricks to making a fabulous kitchen and things to consider. Because what you don't want is at the end, oh shoot, I wish I had thought of that. I wish I'd thought of that. And as you know, a lot of things are very hard to add after the fact than during the construction phase. So just some things to keep in mind, some things to consider as you are building your outdoor kitchen, and the things that you want to have included and the functionality you want, the ease of getting around an island, the flow of the space. If you're having a large party, what will be most convenient for everyone? Are they all going to be bumping into each other if the space is too tight? As you can see here, you know, we have these two columns, and I wanted the island, you know, not to be too close to either of these columns. So that was a space consideration. So I hope that helped give you some ideas for your outdoor kitchen. Again, I have a full reveal of the pool house that you can catch. I will link that, and I hope you found this helpful. I will see you next time. Bye. Please like and subscribe. I always forget to say that. Thank you. See you next time.